coffee time. Hello, how you doing tonight? I could use a cup of that, but I just have water right now. Good evening. It's Alfred Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock, thank you.
Alfred Hitchcock.
That's what it was.
Good evening. Finite World. We're doing just fine here today. Trying to stay a little cool. Crazy weather we have had this year. From freezing cold to monsoons. A week ago we were absolutely drenched. Yeah, we still have areas in the yard that you can't walk through. Still trying to dry out. Andy's backyard and shop.
Taco Bell to get his Wi-Fi.
Taco Bell. I'll have a burrito supreme, please.
I'll take a number 7, please, to Diet Coke.
Yes, we have sunny weather. We have hot, humid, sunny weather.
90 plus.
No rain. Lonely Pepper Homestead.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow.
Is it supposed to rain tomorrow?
That's what I heard on the radio on the way to the post office.
Wow.
Tomorrow afternoon. May stand out in it.
Boy, it's been. I think it's humidity more than anything. It's just been killer.
It is. Plus we're old. You're old.
Waiting for advert to finish. Oh my. You mean I actually have an advertisement on this? They haven't demonetized it yet? Well, gosh. That ought to give me a whole maybe 1/3 of 1 cent. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Watching to the end. Andy's backyard and shop, 10 hours. 10 hours?
I just
What's 10 hours?
We're going to find out here in a minute. How long it takes him to get here, I don't know.
Coffee time, where are you at?
That's what I thought, Andy. Well, Andy, to East Tennessee, it's 7 hours.
Well, let's see. It's 8 o'clock now. So...
Just wait in the driveway till we get up. Coffee time's in Florida. Oy.
Okay, so are you East Coast or West Coast in Florida? Terry's daughter lives down on the East Coast. Well, she's not that far from the Cape Canaveral.
Superman, Cape.
They shoot their big rocket ships.
Yeah. 10 minutes from them. She loves it.
You're on the West Coast. So
She's on the side of Florida that my cousins are on.
So coffee time, did you survive okay through... I'm sorry, I don't know what hurricane just came through there. Something did. Or were you too far south, or...
I know Baltimore got hit.
Just hope everybody was fine.
3 minutes and 16 seconds? Whoa, that is a long advertisement.
Well, that may give me 1/4 of a cent. I don't know. I'll tell you what. I applaud these people that manage to get paid every month on YouTube, because they have this magical following, and we don't do it for a living, but it would sure be nice just to have a little bit of compensation where it wouldn't cost me every month for the internet bill. That would be nice. So.
Well, just have to, like what we did in the YouTube group when YouTube put that hex on everybody.
Well,
having so many, you just start their videos and let your system run through all their videos. That way it does the advertisements and everything.
Does advertisements and everything?
Yep, I mean, I can do like 5 channels at a time and just walk away.
Okay, you're in Central. So did you get a lot of rain? Was there a lot of, or was it just? I mean, I thought that in Florida every day it rained for 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes later it was like it was never there again.
Don't look at me. I've never lived there.
Well, I visited a couple times.
I visited Miami. That was a long time ago.
Lonely Prepper, where are you located? See, we got Andy down in Tennessee.
Hey, Autumn. How are you? How is it over there in England?
Well, she's from England.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, rain for weeks straight. Yeah, I've heard that. Central Mississippi.
Okay, so
Lonely Prepper, were you at the meetup, Deep South Homestead in March?
the gathering?
That gathering.
I don't recall making a
No,
plan.
I don't either.
I certainly don't know anything about England. That would make, she's way behind us. It must be.
It's somewhere in the middle of the night. Like,
That's what I was
it's
thinking.
like 1 or 2 in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. I understand that, Lonely Prepper. Yeah, Autumn, Sam Stevens was posting some pictures of some of the flooding there in England. About as bad as we saw some videos today of Baltimore, Maryland. I mean, trucks and cars just flowing down the street.
1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because I know when on Monday night it's like 2 or something.
Well, folks, last night we were in Michigan, or not Michigan, Wisconsin,
Yes.
so to speak, and we were talking a little bit about the weather there. That it's hotter in Wisconsin and here than it is down in Florida. We were in the 90s.
Oh, only about 2 hours from Danny and Wanda. I'm ready to go back, Lonely Prepper. I want to go back to Gulfport.
Okay.
Not to the casino.
All right. Well, there's June.
There's our gal.
June, how are you doing this evening? Well, we got a couple people in the chat here anyway. Let's slide this over so I can maybe see a little better.
Whew.
All right. Well, again, we didn't get any emails with any questions.
You don't put a post out there, they're not going to email you.
But I tell them every week.
Why are you down, June?
Start talking.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let me slide Filmora onto the screen instead of me. I'll just jump up in the corner here a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to assume that you've all seen this Filmora.
Tiny Hilltop has a question. Go for it, Tiny Hilltop.
Absolutely. Everyone using Filmora. That would encompass a lot of people. There's a lot of channels out there using Filmora. Getting black flashes at my mesh points in output. Okay, so if I understand your question correctly, when you produce a video with Filmora, where two different clips or two different sections go together, you're getting a or it just goes black for a second. Is that what you're describing? Do you have an example that we could take a peek at?
Only after I export.
You have a video posted that has this that we could take a peek at? Autumn, you have got a very easy question to answer. And there's two different ways to do it. So if Tiny Hilltop can come up with an example we could possibly view, Terry,
I am going to do that right now.
All right. Okay, and well.
Okay. Tiny, now you should be able to go ahead and put your link in there. There you go.
And let me do this.
Okay. Video.
Okay, what was the name of the video?
Forming no-till beds. The second row, second one in.
Got it. Okay. Before we go any further in this, I need to hear it, so I guess you don't mind us looking at this video, I hope. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, were you talking like what we just saw there, just a very quick flash of black? Well, they start around 3 minutes. All right. We'll jump here to 242. Mark this down because I want to go back and look at this video closer later. I can already tell he's done some neat things.
What am I marking down?
Well, just to make sure that I watch this again later.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm sure he doesn't work that fast.
Or if he does, he can come over and plant my garden.
I like what I'm seeing so far. I like the way you've done this, where you've sped up the video. You got music in the background here.
Is he talking about the black flashes there? Did you notice it? Go back
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could detect a black flash.
Contacted Filmora and they gave me a patch, but it didn't work.
It doesn't look to me like you're using any type of transition between your clips. Is that correct? Yeah, I can. Honey Hilltop's already got himself another fan with me here. I like what he's doing. No transition, correct. And with no transition, in addition to an accelerated video, yeah, I think there is going to be a... no, there won't be any space, but it's... I would try this. Here's what I would try. For now, we'll go into full feature mode, just so I can show you here. Let's see if I have any anything in here. Well, I see that Filmora is am I reading this correct? If you enter to win this, you get a free 1-year Filmora video editor and effects store subscription. That's pretty neat.
You already own it. What good does it do you?
I don't have a subscription to the effects store.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay.
So we'll have to circle back and look at that. All right. Now, get rid of that. See if I can find something here. Okay, Sherry, here's one of your unboxings. So, I'm just going to randomly
Oh, Lord.
split this up into sections. And tiny house, my first question is, if you do not have the video running at a multiple speed, a faster speed than what it is recorded at, do you still get your little black glitches? I'm betting you do not. So having said that, and I know that it's a pain in the rear end process to do this, but put your video together at a normal speed that you have, with adding all the clips together, but instead of having them sped up, and then produce that, export that as a complete video file. Then bring that new video clip into Filmora and edit it in the areas that you want faster. Cut the clip, speed it up, cut the clip into the section you want, and speed up those areas. I think you will find that when you export it at that point, you will no longer have those little glitches. Here's what I believe is happening, is because the clip is sped up, your encoder, the encoding within Filmora, and this is not only Filmora, I think you'll find this to be true with Power Director, with Adobe, and most of these. You've got two different clips running fast with no transition point. And so when it's making the video, it's doing a slight jump between those because it's making the video at 30 frames a second. You're running those clips at potentially 120 frames a second or more to speed up the video, and yet it's producing this at 30 frames a second, so it's catching it as the two join together. It's catching it, and it's not a perfectly smooth transition. So one way to get around it is to add a transition between your clips. That's the whole purpose of those. You can, well, if I put a transition into this area right here, and if I double click on the transition, you can see here that you can have it overlap, or you can have it just on the first clip or just on the second clip. So my choice is always overlap. I can control the amount of time that this overlap occurs. You could just try doing I'm going to say like a fade transition and decrease the time down to less than a second. That may eliminate that little black flash. So what I'm trying to do is to point you in a couple directions here that you can try. If you're using the transitions, if there's not enough media, if you're close to the end of a file, or it's too close to the next one, you can use trim frames, or you can use repeat frames. So there's a lot of customization in the transition phases in this. If you have a lot of these clips that you're tying together, sewing together, if you would, you can come into just one and then apply that to all of them. You could, and just for the extreme here, I'm going to increase the transition time on this. Okay, and that's probably a very poor example because I don't have different subject matter front and back. So let me do do this. There we go, we cut that out. Move the transition up here. Now there should be a jump. Put a fade in on top of that. Now the fade runs it completely down. We do a dissolve. So the dissolve would be a much better choice between the two, because what it's done, and let's stretch it out a little more so it's easier to see.
You think rendering before exporting would make a difference?
No. No, it will not. All right, I've stretched this out now so you can actually watch what this dissolve transition does. And what it's doing is it's reaching on to both clips, and it's overlaying or interlacing those together with, I'm going to say, like a 50% transparency on the first clip and the second clip. So when these go together, if you look closely, you can see both clips. So if you watch closely, you could see that the part of the first clip, part of the second clip actually just overlapped each other and blended together without going dark. If we were to put the fade on there for that same length of time, it'll actually go dark. You get your black flash. And in essence, when you have two clips side by side that are sped up with no transition between them, it does the same thing as I just showed you here, where it's running fast, it's going okay, but I'm only running at 30 frames per second, so I'm using this part of the clip, and I'm accelerating, I'm duplicating frames, I'm doing whatever I have to do to make this move in a faster rate. And then all of a sudden, you break that into the next clip, which may or may not be the same speed. Don't know. But if you just put this dissolve transition between them, and I'm not saying to do it for the length of time I've done here. I've done this to show you an illustrative purpose where it overlaps each other, but it keeps a full light on the screen. We could go in here and make this very short. Go back. Okay, that's using 24 frames now to do this. So that's less than a second. So now let's see if we can actually even see it happen. Okay, I could definitely see it. I don't know how well that transpired for out there, but let's bring it down even more. That's very fast. That'd be my first choice. That would be absolutely my first choice, would be to use the dissolve transition in a very short time set between your clips. And I think you'll find it will eliminate that black flash that you have there. Okay, well, hopefully then we taught you something here today. Oops, I didn't get to the transition. I have to increase the size so I can find it here. And of course you have your back to the default. You have your choice whether to add it just on the first clip or on the second clip. There's a lot of different things you can do with the transitions. This is the default setting for it. And that's where I keep it. I'd give that a shot. That'd be my first thing to do. If you saved that video file, if you saved it as a project, you could open it right back up where you left it, throw some of those in, and it would take you just minutes to try it. Okay. You are quite welcome. All right, somebody else had a question that they wanted to do something. And both questions came in at kind of the same time. So we went down this road first. Yeah, there was.
Well, I thought you answered one of them.
Oh, still frames from a video.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Automast. Yeah.
All right. Well, here is the easiest way to add a still frame from a video, and I'll just, this video clip that's in here right now is a fine example. If I want this to be, if I just want to have the picture of this, I can drop right down below the preview panel. There's a little camera here, and it says snapshot. If I click that, I now have a snapshot or a picture of this image, exactly where it is. So I can take that and I can put it like at the beginning of the video. So I now have by default it's 5 seconds. I can change that length of time. So I have a 5-second still of that snapshot right there. Now, if you want to stop the video in a location and add what they call a freeze frame, which is a combination of making a snapshot and inserting it into the video in its current location, you can just do a right click, drop down to where it says freeze frame. Click on the freeze frame. It takes a snapshot. It does not put it into your media file area here. but it's made a snapshot and inserted it at that location in your video. So now if you play your video, it stops right there. Again, the default size is 5 seconds. But again, with this on your timeline, you can copy it. Put a split in here so I can paste it over here. So now I have this same snapshot in both locations. So we have a freeze frame. Back to the video. And we went back to it. And of course you can change the length of these, just highlight it. And the little clock right here tells it the duration. Default is 5 seconds. We'll drop it down to 1 second. Do the same thing on this one. Go to the little clock. Drop it down to, this one will make 2 seconds. So now when we play it, we have a 1 second freeze frame. And it takes off where it stopped. Now it jumps back to that picture because that's where I put it in. So, does that, I don't know if it was the Financial World's question or if they were just repeating it for somebody.
They were repeating it because you couldn't remember what it was.
Okay, so I don't know who it was.
It was Autumn.
Oh, Autumn. Okay. Yeah. Grizz in disguise.
Oh, Alpha's here.
Well, then this must be Amy. Judging by that message. Hi, Amy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. So, Autumn, I hope you're here. You can play your video along to wherever you want it, and you can move it frame by frame. You can just get it close to the area that you know you're going to have this lightning strike, and move it frame by frame and see exactly what you have. When you see what you want, you can just take a picture. And that gives you a picture that you can then go and edit. You can use it in other applications. You can use it for a background on your desktop. Whatever you would like to do. Location of these outside of Filmora. If you go into File Manager, this is provided that you have used a default installation. You go into Documents and into Wondershare Filmora, and then the next item down, you'll go into User Source. Then you come into a folder called Snapshots. And this is where all the snapshots are kept by default. Now, if you've done a custom installation, that doesn't apply. But if you notice, the last snapshots I just made are right here. In that folder. Okay. Having trouble getting Filmora to download. That's interesting.
God, Rusty.
So when you go to their website, you're just not able to download it. It just, do you have a problem downloading anything else? I guess is my first question. Autumn, I can't answer that about the mobile app. I know that they have a version for mobile devices. I'm old. That's all I can do to make a phone call. I wouldn't even attempt to. I wouldn't even attempt to edit a video on a phone. My fingers are too fat. My phone is too little. I'm going to guess that it's very, very similar on them, that they have that function on the mobile app, but I cannot say for sure. Wait a minute. There's youngsters running around loose. Am I seeing this right? That's what Andy's saying. Warn all the town folks that Mississippi youngsters are running around on the loose.
Yeah. Rusty's boys are going with his grandparents tomorrow for 2 weeks.
Oh my. Rusty, it's like a honeymoon. Time without the kids. Autumn, if you try that on your device, would you let us know? We would certainly appreciate it.
I'll do what Rissa says. She has you trained, Rusty. I like that woman.
Grizz,
$700 there, Alf? Whoa.
well, you can allow YouTube to hold your money forever.
Oh,
They don't
okay.
care.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
How do you adjust the duration of text or credit? That one's easy. Let's do this. I'm just going to pull a color down into the timeline here. By default, I'll show everybody, by default, the color comes down as in a 5-second interval. And I want to increase that time. I can simply just drag it out. It's now, should have done it this other way here. It is now 36 seconds plus 22 frames. So I'll say, okay, 36 seconds is fine. Go back to the beginning here. But the actual question was adjust the timing on a text credit. So now we'll come in here and we'll throw something in here. Okay, and by default, by default, this is the same thing. Set the duration, and it's set for 5 seconds. Of course, to edit it, it shows, I'll just leave the defaults here as they are. If you go into advanced, you're going to see each piece of this headline, title, credit, text box, and as you click them, you'll see each one. You can modify each piece individually, and if you notice, there's a little timeline on top of it. In the top one where it starts, it's the full 5 seconds. So that is this bar. That comes in right away. Then at roughly an eighth of a second mark, your comes in, then headline comes in, then here comes in. We'll say, okay, so we'll just play it in a default setting. So they just step in. All right. So I can highlight this. I can go to my timeline clip here, and I can change it by hours, minutes, seconds, or frames. I can also grab the end of it and just drag it out. So I now have a title that's 24 seconds and 24 and 7 frames. 24 seconds, 7 frames long. Now this has slowed everything down as well, because it stretches it out evenly. We'll stop that. Go back. Let's go into the advanced edit. Now our timeline here is over, well, it's 24 seconds. But let's say that the word your, I don't want that to start until 12 seconds. Roughly 12 seconds. Slide it over. And the word here, I'm going to try to start that at the same time. So I'll say okay now. And we'll play it. Bar right across right away. Headline pops in. Your here pops in together, just like I set it up. There's a lot more you can do in the advanced edit features. I can also I can move the whole piece so that it fades in and out. I can change the animation on any of these lines. So make it so that one bounces in, and this one is going to be an up roll, and this one is going to be a spin and fly to zoom in. So I'll say okay. Now let's see what it looks like. Left our bar jump across right at the top. I can go in and I can readjust any of those. But the whole point is you can go in and modify it to your heart's content. Now, having said that, there are some titles, let me get rid of the blue, where the title and headline is a combination of a small video clip and title. So when you go in and choose something like this, for example, you notice the text portion is down here in the text line, but it also put something in the timeline for a video clip, and that in fact is what this is. It's a short video. This, you are not going to be able to change the time. At least wise, you're not going to be able to change the time in a conventional fashion like I just showed you. It won't allow you to add to it in that way. But here's what you can do. Come back out here, and I'm just going to do this so I don't. Right now, these are kind of tied together. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to bring down a color. I'm going to take the text. I'm going to slide it over under the color. Now it's more tied to the color and not so much this small video clip, which if you play, looks like this. It has the little boxes that goes around the corner, and that's all it does. Doesn't do much, but it is a video file. So I can double click on it, and I can set the duration here. I can make it 20 seconds long. And it's just the same way as changing a video file that you have uploaded. But now when I play it, still does the same thing, puts the little four corner pieces in. You've not modified the video. You're running it in slow motion. But it has stretched it out. So now, if I take the wording, I put it back underneath this, and I stretch it out to the same amount of time as what I have the video file. It's just, oops, well, let me go back. It's now taken a 5-second title as a single unit and stretch it out to 20 seconds. Does that feels like I still have a cough, but it's not near as bad. They're still working on drugging me. I went back to the doctor today. Here, let me jump over, because this is strange. They told me that I had to obtain one of these, which is a blood pressure monitor. Of course, you know, this thing that just, whatever you put inside this gets squeezed. So we could put lemons in here or oranges, and just turn it on and watch the juice pour out the end. But this little device that I was told that I have to have, we picked it up at our local Walmart store. brought it home, and I'm expecting this to be reporting to me the same sort of readings that I obtained when I was in the hospital, for example. And it wasn't. This thing had numbers that I didn't like the looks of. So I went back to the doctor today and I says, is this thing any good? Test me against this thing. And they were so kind as to do that. And they said, well, we're changing your meds because, yeah, your blood pressure is too high. So they fixed my heart rate just fine, but in the process right now, my blood pressure is not where it's supposed to be. So Sherry's being extra nice to me so that I don't blow my top. And I just got a dirty look, but I'm trying to tease her.
I'm always nice to you.
Well, yeah, but
as anybody on here.
But I said extra nice.
I don't have to be extra nice if I'm always nice to you.
All right, folks. I can't get my foot up, so how about if I just eat my shoe?
Hi, Lucas. Hi, Joseph. When you coming out to see Nana Sherry? Close up the chickens.
June, that is whatever that word is. That's not on my list. I have no idea what that is.
Just run off. Yeah, June at this state of the game, you know.
So, gosh, we actually got, 3 questions answered tonight, I think.
Correct.
Cool. I like it. Or was there, or did I not answer this last question about the changing the...
No, I think you did.
Okay. All right.
So
Well,
rest of you going on vacation now that the kids are going to be gone for 2 weeks?
the June, the medicine, the blood pressure pills that they have me taking, losartan, something like that. The stuff that they had me on before is what gave me the cough that I've had for years now.
Lonely Prepper, probably next March.
Yeah, next.
When the gathering is.
Yeah, probably next spring. That is such a long drive.
We're going to Hannibal, Missouri in August.
No, and we're going to Michigan, I think, before that.
Michigan in July.
Michigan, July.
Missouri in August.
And Virginia
in October.
Yeah, and that'll probably, more than likely, that'll probably be our trip for this year.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he does, Jim. That doesn't sound familiar. I couldn't find the snapshot icon in the mobile app, but I'm keeping basic for editing.
Okay.
June, that very well could be, or maybe we could meet somewhere. Ooh, watermelon rind pickles. Amy, I've seen the recipe. I haven't tried it. In fact, I cut half a watermelon up this afternoon and put it in a bowl, so I still have the other half. Probably play with that and try it.
Probably pull the rind out of the trash. You folks are blessed right now that the camera's not over there, because I got one of these looks could kill. Just
Watermelon rind Wine. Boy, say that fast 3 times, Chris.
All right.
Never thought of that.
I'm gonna fix her.
Kelly, how do you run the googly eyes over something it will follow?
You're on.
Kelly's asking you a question. Monkey.
How do you run googly eyes over
Ooh, elderberry saplings.
so that the eyes follow?
Well, that's a plus coffee time. At least it got done.
To the best of my knowledge within Filmora, you're not going to be able to do that. Daryl is into googly eyes?
Lizards and googly eyes. I have some cuttings, June. I need to put them in soil. I haven't killed them yet.
Coffee time. Got Filmora downloaded. Folks, it's surprising when you become more and more familiar with Filmora, and as you view different videos, you're going to find Filmora is used by a lot of people. A lot of big name YouTubers use Filmora. And you can determine it a lot of times in their titling.
Two Cedars Microfarm. Is there any way to put text inside the word balloons of the elements?
Absolutely. It's a 2-step process. You jump back to this screen, and quickest way to get rid of that is just create a new element. No, don't save any changes. All right, so the question is in the balloon mode. So here's what we'll do. We'll give us some sort of background. And we'll go into elements, and you want okay. Want one of the thought bubbles. I just have to find it. Use the thought bubbles very often. There's one. So I'll bring this down now. So at this point, we have added a thought bubble. And you want to put text inside the bubble. So now you go into your text and credit. Pick out something that you like. You can always change it. I frequently go into lower thirds because that just gives me a small sampling of wording. And I think everybody knows how to sample. You highlight what you have over here and just hit the play button. Shows you what the default is set up as. And that's fine right there. Let me bring that down and place it underneath the thought bubble. So at this point, if I play it, location is down at the bottom, plus it's white. You're never going to see it in this bubble. So let's go into advanced editing. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color, and I'm going to make it blue. Now I can take the entire box, and I can put it up here in the bubble. I can either change the size of the font up here on the top, where I change the font, so we can go from a 40 to a 44. We can change the font to some other. You can also change the size by increasing the size of your text square. And I'll say OK. Go back and see what we have. Bubble pops up. This is how. Now, it's a little bit longer than the bubbles. I can change the length of the thought bubble. Cannot. Change this. At this point, we have a thought bubble come up, and there is wording now inside your bubble. Does that answer what you wanted to do? Okay, I think we need to start wrapping it up here. 1870s Homestead that's on tonight?
Yes.
1870s Homestead they've probably already started their stream. Yeah. We don't want to infringe on them. We've been on an hour. If you come up with any more questions, please send me an email. And in the email, tell me.
1870s is not on tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm good for sticking around a little longer. I don't know that there's a better ways two-seaters microfarm. You can also create your own thought bubble with shapes and sizes. You can import a picture of a thought bubble that you can custom make through a photo editing program, and then import it as a picture, adjust the size, the location, wherever you want to do it. You could also, in a photo editing program, add wording to it, where it's just there, and when it's displayed on the screen, it's there. So there's a lot of variations, different ways to do it. But what I showed you here, I hope was something just to get you started, get your mind in the right direction to see what else is available here. Okay. Yeah, we could actually do some other effects. A lot of different things we could do with this thought bubble. So, all right. Is there any other questions? Wait a minute, Grizz, what are you talking about? Miss Noah, you will be as clean as a whistle.
He's telling Andy how to make wine. But he told Andy he had to wait till it stopped bubbling, or it would give him the squirts if he did drink it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just finishes its fermentation inside of you. Somebody else had barbecue ribs. Ours were not baby back. We had the full length slab. Okay. Anything else? Want to do anything else? I don't see anything else.
No.
Folks, it's been fun. I hope you had the opportunity.
Whereabouts, Kelly, are you going to be? Down in Dayton area? Are those expensive, Carrie? They're like a couple $100, aren't they?
I'm thinking they're like 270,
Yeah.
approaching 300, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
No, Milford, Ohio. I got it, Kelly. I guessed it. Coffee time. I think you will enjoy it. What's your current editor? What have you been using for an editor? The real plus thing about Filmora is it's very intuitive. It has a ton of features, but it's very user friendly.
Yeah, nice. He's thinking of you.
Wine's one of those drinks that I tolerate. I don't crave it. I've had good and bad, I guess. So, once in a while. Of course, I'm not. I do not drink that much anymore. Anymore? Been a long time since
Any less?
Any more, any less? Been a long time since I overindulged in alcohol.
Yeah, it was about 2 years ago. The girls still talk about it. Celia still remembers
Remembers what?
that time when you drink a bottle, went downstairs.
Well, that okay. Country girls here. Well, Grizz, we'll have to work on that. We will definitely have to work on that because we did it with distilled water, so maybe we have to distill the wine. Or just distill? Not
It
distill.
wasn't distilled,
It was canned.
canned water.
Canned water.
Jeez.
Can we have canned wine?
Have it in a box.
Or would that...
Autumn says I could send you the video I edited for you to look at if you want and give me pointers.
Autumn, that's fine. If any way that I can help, I'm more than willing to try to do that for you. And at least wise to perhaps alter your mindset where you're approaching it in a different way that's making it work for you. Yeti Microphone, thank you so much for stopping by. You take care, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget, next Monday night. Who do we have on next Monday night?
Wildflower Valley Farm.
Wildflower Valley Farms next Monday night. All right. Guess we're looking at shutting her down here. Figure out where I'm at. Yeah. Any words of wisdom for everybody tonight?
No words of wisdom.
No words of wisdom?
Go on. Love you more. Shut it down.
Shut it down. Good night, folks. Take care. Thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate all of you. And thank you to our moderators very much. Take care now. Good night.